Tell you what, guys, being air cooled too, you still get that old, being air cooled. Alright guys, so I'm down here at M&M Performance in Kelowna on McCurdy Place, and today we are looking at the Indian Chief Sport. These things are insane little bikes, guys, but this one is even more of a beast. It's not just your average Indian Chief Sport. This thing's been souped up with a stage 2, and holy guys, let me tell you, this thing is insane. And this thing's got ride modes too. So you got tour mode, you got standard, and then you have sport mode. You really notice the difference when you switch from standard into sport mode. That off the line torque is right there. You barely even have to touch that throttle, guys, and it is pulling you back in your seat and just giving you that thrill that any hot rod thrill seeker is looking for. This thing's got the same amount of torque as a CVO Baker, but it's 300 pounds lighter just about, and oh my gosh, you really feel that power, guys. And 116 cubic inches, which is just around 1900 cubic centimeters. Naturally, this thing would have 120 foot-pounds of torque, but with that stage 2, you've got about 136 foot-pounds of torque, which just makes this thing insane, and 107 horsepower. If you guys are in the market for a hot rod and you're looking for something light and nimble that's gonna push you back in your seat, you definitely gotta come and check out what M&M Performance has on their floor for Indians, because these things are just really a great bike. Being air cooled too, you still get that old school kind of simplicity about it. You don't have a bunch of big gauges and everything like that to worry about. You've just got that one gauge right in front of you, and you can navigate through that thing, through everything that you need. Enough of this talking though, let's do a little bit of a walk around before we hit the road, and you guys can make up your own minds what you think about the Indian Chief Sport. Alright guys, so here we've got the Indian Chief Sport. And if we were talking stock on this thing, guys, this thing would be coming in at 11:1 compression. It's got a 116-inch air-cooled Thunderstroke engine in it, and it would have 120 foot-pounds of torque. But I say would have because this thing is not your average Indian Chief Sport. This thing's got a stage 2 kit in it, which means it's got the stage 2 cam kit, it's got the 2-in-1 Freedom exhaust, it's got the stage 2 air cleaner on it, which with all of those extras, guys, that bumps this thing up to 136 foot-pounds of torque and 107 horsepower. So it is definitely a hot rod. And man, you guys, you feel that torque. You put this thing in sport mode and it is just pushing you back in your seat, man. It does not want to quit. Even just being stock, guys, with 116 cubic inch engine and 120 foot-pounds of torque and just this tiny little package, not even 700 pounds, you would not be disappointed. You could keep it stock and still be happy. It would have dual exhaust normally. I think it looks great and it sounds great with that 2-in-1 Freedom exhaust on there. I know you guys don't really want to sit here staring at it forever, so we're going to take it out on the road and you guys are going to get to see what this thing really does. Okay guys, we are going to see what this has to offer. Sounds good too. It's got LLOYD'Z tuning, and LLOYD'Z specializes in Indian. I think they only do Indian, and M&M Performance in Kelowna is the only place in Canada where you can get your Indian tuned by LLOYD'Z. Just a little baby, a big baby, 600 pounds, 136, or is that 139 foot-pounds of torque? Yeah, this thing's pretty crazy, guys. Air cooled. This thing's brand new. And most of you probably know already that Indian and Harley actually only have a 4-degree difference when it comes to the way that the cylinders sit on the engine. So that is how come Indian and Harleys actually sound so similar in, you know, just in that ba-dum sound they get. They both got that horse galloping kind of sound. Right now we're in touring mode, and I can't imagine what sport mode's gonna feel like because this already feels pretty good. Hopefully this fairing doesn't mess with my audio too much because I can just feel the wind from it. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of wind noise. I've never ridden a sport bike or anything like that, so I'm not really used to crazy amounts of torque. So touring mode is nice for in town for sure. It's not too torquey. Doesn't like feel like it wants to rip you out of your seat just when you're rolling on the throttle. Don't take off from a light. So that's definitely what you want for your in town riding. We'll see how we feel with standard. I'm gonna switch it over to standard. We're gonna hit the highway. See how it hits the highway in standard mode. Up the road here, and we're gonna try it out in sport mode. This thing's got more torque than a new Harley CVO, and it's 300 pounds lighter. Which is insane. It's just insane. Like, seriously. And just listen to it. It sounds amazing. I'm not sure what kind of exhaust it's got on it. I can't remember what he said. Whatever these pipes are, it sounds good. Tell you that much. Okay guys, we're gonna switch this over into sport mode. See how that feels. is insane. Oh man, whoever buys this thing, they are not going to be disappointed, man. You hardly even have to touch that throttle. That's crazy. To how crazy you can get in traffic. Like it wants to rip my helmet right off my head. And it sounds so good. Like, what? So you got your ride modes, you can do your screen brightness, everything right there. You can hook your phone up to it so you can actually see your phone screen on this touch screen down here, which just really helps. So you got your range, tells you how much you got left before you run out of gas. Tells you your temperatures, your battery voltage, everything just at the tip of your fingers here, guys. It's perfect. You got everything you need. The difference in the ride modes. You definitely feel major difference between touring, standard, and sport. The biggest difference is definitely felt once you put it into sport mode, because you just, like, right away, it's immediately, you've just got insane torque right off the line. Put it back into tour mode. That definitely feels better for slower speeds. I kind of like the mid-control position on this thing too, really helps. Yeah, this is just a great little bike, guys, for a hot rod. Well, that was a lot of fun. Well guys, that was almost too much fun, and it's probably a good thing for me that I'm not in a position to buy a new bike right now, because or else I would be taking home a bike that I cannot fit in my garage. Well, who am I kidding? There's always room for bikes. This thing was so much fun though, and I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to take this thing out. When they first told me about it, they asked me if I am used to sport bikes at all, which I've never ridden a sport bike. So I didn't have really anything to compare it to when it comes to torque and just the speed and everything like that. But they gave me fair warning and I was prepared, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Like, I seriously am so happy that I got an opportunity to take this thing out before it leaves. And I tell you, whoever takes this thing home is going to be one happy camper. This thing is just so much fun, guys. Seriously, if you guys are looking to buy something new and you want something like a hot rod, you guys gotta come down here to M&M Performance and talk to the guys here about getting your bike souped up with some LLOYD'Z tuning. Like I said, LLOYD'Z specializes in Indians, and M&M Performance are the only people in Canada who deal with LLOYD'Z tuning. So if you're looking to get your Indians souped up and you're in the area, come down to M&M Performance in Kelowna and talk to these guys. They're super friendly and they really are super helpful. It is a great place, guys, and I actually really enjoy the collaborations I've been able to do with these guys, and I hope that you guys have too. That is it for this video. I hope that you guys had fun. I definitely had fun making this one, and I will definitely be back here again. Like I always say, guys, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me but you like my bikes, then like this video, comment, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell, and you will be notified every time I put a new video out. And like always, my lovely YouTube people, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. You've got...
Last one was torque. Oh, that's why. But no,